everyone. Today we are discussing the future of this channel. And that's mostly because I graduated in September 15th, 2023. That is over a year ago. And I am quite literally no longer a future PhD. And because of that, some of my life goals, plans, and expectations for this channel has changed a little bit. Now, while this is true, I do want to reassure you that I still have every intention of maintaining this channel and posting advice to help actual future PhDs, master students, and other graduate students or prospective graduate students that are interested in, pursuing, thriving, and making it out of academia in one piece. And specifically, I think the biggest change is that since I'm not a grad student, I can't post grad life vlogs. I'm not a PhD. You can't come with me to write my dissertation. All of that is done. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do vlogs ever again, as you'll see pretty soon. I want to incorporate post-grad life because that impacts graduate students. What is it like to be a postdoc? What is it like to apply to jobs? These are questions that I didn't get answered, and because of that, I have I don't think it's that unique. I have a very usual experience with this, and it's, an uphill battle. But I don't want that to be the case for you all. So that information is definitely going to come and continue, and all with the goal to help you, again, get into grad school, thrive while you're there, and then get out all intact with some type of sustainability, some type of security, right? This is my goal. Now, of course, like I've been saying, I still want this channel to grow, and specifically times is rough. I need money. So there are things that I'm thinking about doing to help the channel be better monetized and sustainable for me. This honestly doesn't really impact you all very much, and that's because I do think it's important that no information that is imperative for you to succeed in grad school, to make it out and live a sustainable life, should have a paywall. So I am going to keep it close to my heart that nothing that is necessary will be impeded by money. If you've gone to my merch store, if you've bought digital products, you see, unless it's like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, something you don't need to actually be successful in grad school, it is not going to be more than $10. And that's because I know $10 is a lot for grad students, especially in this economy. And so I'm working on trying to figure out other ways to monetize that doesn't negatively impact you, but instead gives you more resources. Now, one of the ways that I want to do this is by getting serious or invested in sponsorships. Now, of course, I don't want the channel to just be this billboard, but I do want to start reaching out to companies and organizations that I think would be useful for you all, either because they have products or just really good student discounts, and having them sponsor the channel or a video here or there. I know that if you watch YouTube, this isn't uncommon, but a lot of people have anxiety about doing this because they might be perceived as a sellout. If you perceive me as a sellout, then I'm a sellout. I'm not gonna argue that, but it's a way to make money without charging you all or making you all pay. And again, I'm really trying to find organizations, software companies that would be useful to future graduate students, recently graduated people, and finding ways to make their services more accessible, if that's discount codes or things like that. I don't have any sponsorships lined up at all. This is just an aspiration. So at any point, if you're like, oh, how can I support her? always like comment, be active, share my videos. But like if you do ever see me with a sponsor, please blow up my comments and be like, oh, I love that product or whatever. I don't know, but like, be engaged. That is the best thing that you could do for somebody like me who's trying to get other people to give her money. And then an extension of that, oh, ignore my dirty kitchen. And an extension of that is I'm also trying to develop a newsletter. And this is something I'm actually very excited about. I won't do it until like 2025. And that's just because my bandwidth, I'm in the process of trying to get hired and published and all this jazz. But a newsletter would give me an opportunity to again find more places for sponsorships. But in regards to you and how it would help you, I'm thinking this newsletter would be different than just like, oh, here are updates on my life and about me, but rather I would include important deadlines, grant applications, maybe some advice. I also want to do a kind of public aggregated database of grants, scholarships, and awards that are accessible to graduate students in different fields. So having a link or like a Google Doc where you can contribute things that you've done, seen, or have advice on, and then anybody can access it. So I'm thinking of it as like a living repository of resources that you all can access. And because of that, I'm using something called Substack, which is in the description box below if you want to subscribe or look at it. But once the newsletters are sent out on Substack, it saves it kind of like a website or a blog site. So even if you don't want to go into your physical emails, there is a website that you can access all that information and it would always be there. Now, of course, subscribing is a way to help me, but you could also make a dummy email and subscribe and then just access the website whenever you want to. But the goal is to make sure that these resources are widely available to you and that we are working as a collective to share and aggregate all of our knowledge. So anybody who is a part of the newsletter, anybody who is subscribed can share information but also receive. There should be more about that coming soon. But again, it won't be live until January 2025. Another thing I'm considering is memberships. Now this one's a little bit trickier because that would put the financial burden on you. So I'm not sure if that's gonna come out anytime soon, but maybe if that's something you're interested in, the idea of this membership would be for, again, less than $10 unless you are like balling, then do what you gotta do. But the hope or the idea would be able to do kind of office hours where maybe once, twice a month, I log into this membership portal live where you can talk to me one-on-one, ask questions, and do kind of like a Q&A. Now, I love Q&As in general and would love to do more of them on my channel. So always feel free to ask questions in the comments because that's one of my favorite type of videos to record. But I think this one would be slightly different because if you were in the membership and you had a very, very personal, specific question, like, you know, you got this feedback on your assignment and you're not sure what that means, I could address that one-on-one. And maybe some access to other digital files, like my personal files, like what my literal writing statement looks like, or if I ever get published, what my first publications, all their drafts look like, things like that. But again, we'll see if that's something that interests you or you'd be willing to pay for. Again, it wouldn't be more than $10. And I know that's still a lot a month. So, but these are kind of the ideas. And I'm also trying to think about ways to help you more deeply. Again, I don't think one-on-one time is the most essential thing for you to be successful. And that's why I see it as more of a thing that can be behind a paywall. But as I said, if it's essential for your success, I will not put it behind a paywall. There are so many other people on earth that you can talk to. I have mad videos that talk about who you should talk to, and how you should talk to those people. So this would be like supplemental. If this is something that you would really want, then I'd be willing to do it. But I don't want there to be pressure or like fear that I'm going to make this information inaccessible. I will never make information inaccessible to you. But yeah, so with all of that said, those are the things that are kind of on my mind in regards to how this channel will change. I am going to continue to post content for you future PhDs. I'm not even going to change the title of the channel, at least not yet. In a future scape of this channel, I would love to kind of transition out of being the main person and having diverse people, like people with disabilities, people with different identities, trans people, be graduate students that vlog and share their advice, and kind of have like a cohort model where like maybe I have 1 to 5 people who are on the channel sharing their advice across disciplines. But obviously, if I'm not making money, then I can't pay them to do that work. And I would never, ever, ever, ever ask any marginalized person for free labor. So this is also me trying to build up to this future scape where future PhD is not just about me, but really about the future PhD experience for many different people. And because of capitalism, that requires money, and that's why I thought I should make this video where I'm talking about ways I'm trying to monetize this channel, not just because I need money, because Lord knows I do, but because I want this channel to continue to grow, to continue to be useful, and I am only one person with one unique experience, and there are so many other versions of graduate school and grad life that is not represented on the internet and not represented on YouTube that I want to make available, but I can only do that if I can compensate people for their labor. But with all that said, I'm still here, and I'm going to be here, and I hope that you're going to be here. And if you're interested in seeing, like, if you my journey or anything like that, you should watch this playlist next. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.